Hello, my name is Alun, and this evening I'm facilitating the second of 4 sessions of Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, the superhero role-playing game by Rich Rogers. First time I've ever run a Supers game, and the first time I've run this game. But I'm in good hands because some of my players are long-running Supers players and referees, so I'm in safe hands. I use the pronouns he, him, and I'll ask the players to introduce themselves in a moment. We are expecting another player to join us from last week, but he's having a bit of technical difficulties. This game is organized as part of the Gauntlets RPG community Hangouts calendar. We host, hundreds of games every month, mostly indie, small press, OSR, but not all, it must be said. And importantly, this weekend, the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming Weekend, first of its kind, first of its name, will take place, which is an opportunity for people who, at this time when we're all isolated to some degree, have a chance to come and try out online gaming. And I'm running 2 games this weekend, and I'm really pleased that there's only one person in the 8 people who are playing with me that I know. So I'm hopeful that is introducing some new blood to the online hobby. The Gauntlet is a great place. If you want to know more about us, please go to gauntletrpg.com and you'll find out lots about us. And we'd love to have you come and play with us. And here is our remaining player. Hi, Dave. I'm just doing intros. Yes, with no further ado then, I'm not going to go through our usual discussion of safety tools. We know we're playing with some lines and veils and with an X card, and the door, as always, is open. That means that if anybody wants, for whatever reason, life goes on away from the game, stuff comes up. If it does, feel free, take a break. If you can come back, fine. If not, that's not a problem. We will play on. Let me ask people to introduce themselves in the order of the character keeper, please. Donna, would you like to say hello, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about Blink?
I will indeed. Hi, everyone. My name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. Tonight and for the next couple of weeks, I'll be playing Blink, whose name is Theo. He is somehow the leader of this group of young superheroes, or youngish superheroes. He's grown up in this neighborhood. His family has been here for the better part of a century, and he somehow takes the lead, even though he's not the smartest in the group. His special abilities are he can cast his mind psychometry or remote vision, that kind of stuff. And he can also discorporate himself. He can go into a ghost form. So yeah, that's his shtick.
Thank you. And then moving along, Dave, I'll let you settle in. I'll skip along to Mario. Say hello, introduce yourself, and tell us about Young Void.
Hello, my name is Mario. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Robert Blossom, aka Young Void, a young graphic designer and also a part-time rapper that has an ability to bring despair to everyone he talks into it. So he's quite good with words, apparently. And he is, he's sort of disappointed that they had to crash the best party this part of town has seen in quite a while.
Yeah, they're just real spoilers. Moving along, Jim, say hello and tell us about Hotwire.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Crocker, and folks that know me from outside the Gauntlet, where I run and play a whole lot of games, may know me because I'm a retailer of role-playing games. You can see them behind me in my office here, where I am the sole employee, proprietor, shipping clerk, receiving clerk, like all of those many hats. I wear all of them. And by recording in my office, I get out of the house and give my wife at least a few hours of relief. So if you're interested in what I'm doing online, you can follow me on Twitter at Jim Likes Games. And I've got a website, jimlikesgames.com, where you can find out what I'm doing as far as podcasting goes, buy a game or two if you wanted to support me in between conventions, because I'm pretty sure my next one is not going to be for a while. I am playing Hotwire, and Hotwire is the glue that holds the team together. He is, for some reason, I decided to play an older character. Alan and I were laughing last time that I was like, he's almost 40, as if that was like some great big deal. But, you know, I mean, we kind of established, I think, that most of the other characters are younger. He's been around the block a few times, was around during the, you know, when the neighborhood had a real serious crime problem. It is kind of now, we sort of established, like, still, you know, it is kind of like I think it's kind of on the upswing. We've established that there's some real estate folks that are interested in, you know, maybe looking ahead to the future there and stuff like that. But at the depths of the, you know, kind of recession and crime era and stuff like that, he got mixed up with, you know, the criminal element, and ended up running with a gang that fell in with a kind of a low rent supervillain that had a kind of a mad scientist thing going on, and he decided that he would experiment on some of his thugs to see if he could power them up so that they could, you know, become more of a force in the city. And most of us either died or received, you know, crippling injuries as a result of these completely unlicensed and, you know, in some cases very experimental procedures that he subjected us to. But I ended up with some, you know, kind of low rent superpowers, and as a result, helped take him down. And so, you know, I've got some dumb stuff I did as a kid in my past, but it hasn't really like I didn't end up with a record because I helped out and stuff like this. But I'm pretty sure that there are still folks that almost certainly are keeping an eye on me because I'm kind of a known quantity. But I've been trying to keep my head down for the last 15 years or so. I'm in AA, I'm sober, and I work with my cousin at one of those businesses that welds, that makes like drop gates and bars for windows and all this kind of stuff, and does welding and stuff like that. And it's nice because with my electrical powers, my kind of ability to control electricity in a limited kind of way and discharge it, I can do some stuff like spot welding and things like that just by zapping stuff with a fingertip and things. So that's kind of what I've been using my powers for. And folks in the neighborhood kind of know that I can do stuff, and so they will come around and ask me for favors sometimes. And I've sort of fallen in with this gang here, and sort of become a superhero, kind of like whatever a superhero, kind of reluctantly, but I don't want these kids getting in over their heads either. So I feel like I got to help them out.
Thank you. Can I just say, I love the idea of any supervillain ever doing licensed experimentation. I'm shocked that this was unlicensed experimentation. Okay, moving on. Dave, say hello and tell us about Shadeux.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm he, him pronouns. I am proof that the Welsh can be glamorous as well. I'm playing tonight Shadeux. The spelling is not because she's that pretentious. It's actually graffiti slang and spelling. But she's the secret idea of her is Victoria Lopez, who's a honor roll student, a part of the Heart community's Heart. She's the daughter of the principal and lives close to the church, which is the base of our operations. But when she puts on the mask, she's Shadeux or Shadeux, she's the daredevil of the group. So wannabe, I say, social reformer, anarchist, sprays and graffitis everything, and is likely to get the team into trouble. I don't know why. I don't know why Blink thinks he's in charge, or Hotwire thinks they might be sort of taking the teams, because I'm the one who keeps them on the straight and narrow and makes sure we're good for the community.
Thank you for that. I omitted at the end of last session to run down the end of session moves. You can tell I'm learning, and by the end of 4 sessions, I may be halfway decent at this. What I want to do is to start with these questions. At the end of every issue, the entire table of GM and players should discuss the following questions. Did you clash with someone who threatened your neighborhood? Yeah, I said. I mean, just for our newly arriving viewers who missed the pilot episode, you did break up the greatest party the neighborhood has seen, but there were some distinctly sinister bods there. One of whom was able to open a portal and leave without using the doors. So I think that counts as a threat. Yeah. So that's one. Did you protect the citizens of your neighborhood at least once? I'm less certain about that, but I'm prepared to hear the arguments.
We got a bunch of kids, many of whom were intoxicated, out of a great big space that probably didn't have working sprinklers that the fire department couldn't get to, that, was on what was it on, like the 12th floor or something like that?
7th floor of the derelict park department store. Yeah.
So that was almost certainly like an incredible, because it was so hard to get to, it was a great place to have a party, which made it an incredibly unsafe place to have a party.
And now you remind me, I do remember Hotwire taking particular care, I think, with Blink to make sure that people did not come to grief on the grand staircase as they ran for it. So I think that's fair. Did you defeat a villain or have a conflict with your rival team? Again, I'm not convinced by that one, but I'll hear arguments. I don't think we're entirely certain who this threat to the neighborhood is yet. We have our suspicions, but nothing concrete. So everyone gets 2 XP. And then pose the following questions to each player to answer for their superpowered person. Other players can chime in to encourage a player to answer yes if they're hesitant, but only the GM should push back or argue against any answer. So let's start with Blink. Did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
I don't think so.
No, I would tend to agree. Did you support another teammate when they needed you?
Yeah, I think I stuck by Hotwire in that sequence. So yeah, I think I would answer yes for this one.
Yes, I'd agree. When a bunch of jocks at the party proved to be a slightly more physical obstacle than perhaps Hotwire had hoped. So that gives Blink 1 extra experience point. Moving down, Mario. Sorry, there's a lot in that header. Young Void. Did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
No, not at all.
Did you support another teammate when they needed you?
Well, I sort of saved Hotwire's ass at the party there.
Yes, you did. Having first disappeared into the mass of the party, you did come good at the end there. So absolutely true. You saw off the jocks, as I remember. So you get 1 extra experience point. Hotwire, did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
Not really.
And did you support another teammate when they needed you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, literally, mechanically, I helped when Blink wanted to try and get a look in that portal. I kind of gave her some extra juice to help keep it open.
You did, using your electrical powers to just hold it open long enough for whoever stepped through it to say, that went much better than I'd expected.
Yeah.
Or that was much easier than I expected, I think. And finally, Shadeux, did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
I think I morally wrangled with breaking up the party, but then decided to hit all the ringleaders with indelible ink in the team, so that's probably gonna have repercussions. Maybe that's more next time than this time. I don't know. I definitely helped the team because it was going to escalate into violence until I started spraying everyone with the sprinklers.
You certainly do. So yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it's we might see some of the consequences of those that indelible paint that you were spraying around. So 1 extra for Shadeux. Okay. So where would you like to pick up? Can I start with Shadeux? Where would Shadeux like to pick up for this issue? What will we see as we open the first page of this issue of Lower Park?
Can I just ask a question before we get started?
Oh yeah, sure.
What do we do with these experience points?
Oh, right.
Because I think it's I don't think it's, is it on the cheat sheet or
I don't think it is. I think the cheat sheet needs a few more things. Hang on, here we go. There we go. Spending experience. Oh gosh, there we are. Can be spent as follows. You can increase your mode, so you know that you have 2 modes: being super, being normal.
Yeah.
To increase that by 1, it's the presence level times 5. So if you have 1 in being normal, if you spend 5 experience points, it can become 2.
Okay.
You can increase a stat, i.e., head, jaw, legs, those characteristics that you have, by spending 3 times the current level. And you could buy a new power for 10. I would like to discuss the new power because I'd like it to be somehow coherent with the ones you've got.
Yeah, it should make sense narratively, sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a risk that you could end up with a whole range of, disparate things just popping out.
Yeah, it's Swiss Army man. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, does that help?
Yes, very much so. Thank you. Like the short answer is nothing yet. So
well, exactly.
Keep plugging away. Yeah.
You don't leap up in this game, is my sense. Okay, so so I was interested to see what do we see of Shadeux or Veronica as we open issue 2.
Oh, we see Veronica, and it's the morning after, right? The cut is on the school assembly hall, and we've got Principal Lopez talking about what it is to be a good citizen in the community, and we can see the football team and various other people covered in this this ink that won't come off them, so people splattered all over them. Veronica and some of the others are not, and I suppose the oddity is those of us who are not covered in the ink, at least in our year, in the senior year, we're the oddity, but we stand out literally because you see people grumpy and furious faces with this ink on them, and then there's like the prefects, the honor students, the people who do the work in the community, probably like the music and computer club. We don't look cool, and it really does sort of separate the cool kids from the ones who have to live a community driven life. And Veronica is sort of like, is sort of trying to hold back a giggle because it does make these folks look like a bit dumb.
And of course, that's not what they think. So I think probably we will see you filing out of that assembly where your father, the principal, has clearly noticed something's gone on here, and he's laying it on thick. And as you're going out, one of those jocks just barges into you and says, so Prissy, little nice girl, wasn't out last night then?
So he looks up at this sort of soccer team player and looks at him and says, no, Mario, I wasn't out last night. As you well know, Wednesday night is when I help out at the old folks meeting at the church. Maybe you should do some community action and support while you're at it.
I think that you're trying to put him down here, aren't you?
Probably.
Because there are some other members of the honours class kind of needing someone to fight their corner here. and that's boiled down to you. So I think this is being normal. And I think it's probably Jaw, isn't it?
Oh, this is going to go really well then, right? So, is it Jaw?
And I think the threshold is that you only need 2 successes. Because you're a bright girl.
No, I think I'd like to make the case that it's Heart, to be honest with you.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I'll go with that.
She's sort of saying like, yeah, I'm not going to be belittled for doing the right thing, rather than trying to persuade her, right? Him even.
Yeah, no, protecting
Carlos.
You are
so
protecting your clique. So no,
so
absolutely. Go with that.
Can someone throw me? Yeah, the party's over. Yeah, yeah. Did someone? Can someone throw me the dice roller, please?
There you go. It's at the bottom of the character.
Got you. Thank you. And remind me what Spark does. That's like 1 for 1 for an extra dice, isn't that correct?
It is. It is. But if I mean, this isn't a kind of a scene with significant tension. So you're not. It's not a risk. You'll just use it up.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll be rolling 4d6 then. I'm going to choose. Magenta for my dice color. And I roll 2 4s, 2 and a 1.
So you were looking for 2 successes. You have 2 successes. He looks a bit sheepish, and some of the other jocks kind of go, "You can't even mess with the girls," and he kind of slump shoulders down the hallway, and you get a nice warm glow off the other kids who have a more responsible view of the world and the community.
Close that scene. We can see this thought balloon going off, going. I go. Now he'll. There's a ... Now he'll never ask me to the dance.
Great. It was Mario, wasn't it? Potential prom date crossed out. Okay. Moving along. I'm curious about seeing Hotwire at work, I think. What are we seeing in the next page of panels about Hotwire?
Well, so what I would like to do, if I could, is to let me see here. I would like to. Can I make this into a refresh scene?
If you would like to do that.
Yeah, so
just to explain to our viewers, a refresh scene is a scene where one of the characters does something to bolster their spark, their what makes them special.
Yeah, so I think this is to kind of keep it in the neighborhood. I have agreed that we are going to put some new, basically, like, we're donating window bars for one of the buildings on the campus of the church there.
Okay, so we see you up a ladder. Give me some detail.
Yeah, like, I think it's I think this is probably a thing where oh, you know what? I think I like it even better if we're like helping make sure that all the fire escapes are fixed. So it's me and my cousin, and I've got, we've got like an acetylene rig and our welder, helmets and stuff like this, and we've got the truck for his business, which is one of these like battered to crap panel vans with like the racks on the side so that you can put like pipes and, and stuff and whatever, railing kind of along the side of the van and drive along that way, and a big roof rack and stuff. And we've got, and we're just going through kind of inspecting, making sure stuff is, and we're, it's like a 6-story building or something, and we're up on the 3rd story on the fire escape, and, he's like looking at the bolts that hold it into the side of the building, and he's like just shaking his head at me. I don't know, man.
Remind me what your cousin's name is. I can't quite remember.
I don't know.
I don't know if we defined it actually.
I don't think we gave him a name. Oh, I thought maybe I did. You know what? I did in my head, but we may not have written it down. I'm Benny Thibodeau. He is Eric. Eric with a Q, E-R-I-Q, Eric Thibodeau.
Fine. Okay. And yeah, Eric's, and he's looking at this and saying, look, Benny, we look, don't get me wrong, it's important to put something back, and we went to this school, and the diocese obviously is struggling to keep it up, but we can't keep doing these jobs at a loss.
I know. I don't know. Can we do one of those online things? Like some kind of, what is it? It's the like the fund, like a fundraising page.
Well,
I guess the church would have to do that, but
yeah, I mean, I thought because I'll be honest with you, I had to speak to the bank again last week. We need to find a real paying job. I mean, look at this. This is going to take days.
I know.
And we're doing this for the cost of the materials, Guy.
All right. So, I mean, I've got everything I need here. Why don't you just take the truck, go back to the shop. I'll do the job, and I know you've got. Why don't you just, put up some flyers or walk around the neighborhood or something and see what you can drum up. I got this.
Okay. And for the second time, a slightly slump-shouldered individual is walking away, getting in the van and driving off. And I've got a thought bubble for him. Do you have anything you want to add to that panel?
I mean, I'm going to make a roll at some point here because that's how the charity work thing works. But
I think it does.
But yeah, but like I kind of, I just look at him go and I sigh, and I just, flip the visor back down.
Okay, so this is to regain spark with charity work. Roll to be normal plus heart. Unless you are obviously using powers.
I mean, no. Like, I'm not making a big show of it. I mean, I think I am, I'm doing that thing where, like, I have the torch out, but I'm really just zapping things, but it's not, because because I save on a settle in that way or whatever, but it's not a thing where I'm, calling like I'm zapping it with a lightning bolt for, for everybody to see. So I think it's legit that it's normal plus heart, which in my case is going to be a total of 3.
Well, I think this is only is difficulty to find.
Yeah, I just roll in however many hits I get. That's how many spark I get back.
Yeah.
Is I think so what it says, right?
Difficulty is typically 2. Success gains 1 SP point of spark, full stop.
So no.
Yeah.
I misunderstood that then. Let me see if I get any at all. Nope. No, it's a miss.
Okay. So clearly the worry is weighing on you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as Eric gets in the car and we see the thought bubble, I'm going to have to return that call. Moving round. Robert, aka Young Void. What do we see Robert, our first sight of Robert in this issue?
Well, Robert would be interested in who was the DJ last night. So he would do some research to find that out.
I think the difficulty is that because it was a kind of apparently not advertised, no flyers, no nothing. The best hope, because the DJ made a run for it when the sprinklers went off and hell broke loose with Shadeu's paint bombs. So
just to remind you, we got his iPod. So,
oh, you did. Well, you got his iPod. I think from Robert's point of view at this point, the best option Robert has is to go back and see if you can find anything at the venue.
So just to, I just want to check again on, do we have some sort of social media yet?
I think so. I mean, I'm not sure. Benny doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's hot on social media. So I don't think you have a shared WhatsApp group particularly.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't telephone somebody.
But yeah, if there's some sort of social media, internet kind of thing, because he's a freelance graphic designer, that would be his first bet to
okay.
do an online search.
I see what you mean. No, let's go with that. So this is being normal. Yeah, this is normal everyday stuff. And I think it's probably head, isn't it, to work out where to look and what to look.
Yeah. Seems right.
Yeah.
So that's 6 dice. Did it change? Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't looking. Which color are you?
Have. The white grayish ones. So I've got 4, 5, 6.
6.
4.
Difficulty is only 2. So okay. How many of them are above 2?
Sorry, I'm confused. It was like a 4, 5, and a 6 counts as hit, right?
Yes.
So I've got 4 hits.
Okay. So yeah, that and 2 of them are 6s. So that's what amounts to critical success in this game. So I think that you get a name, Mike Dubon. Yeah, but you also hit on some photographs taken at the party, but you are also getting local media reports where I think probably there is a news crew outside the building, and it's a clip of a news anchor saying, and now we go to Lower Park, where last night there was a scene of riotous vandalism, and cut to the outside broadcast, and there's a perfectly coiffured young woman who's saying, thank you, Mike, thank you, Dave, and yes, last night there appears to have been a mass break-in here at the Park Department Store. Pan up to this large kind of Gothic frontage. And she's not talking about it being derelict. She's saying, you know, this valuable piece of local heritage appears to have become the focus of vandals in the area. It appears that literally dozens of people broke into the building last night. and we believe caused some significant damage to the Art Nouveau interior. Yeah,
That is interesting.
I'll come back to you and Mike Dubon shortly. Blink, what do we see of Theo the morning after?
I think he's doing his delivery route. He's a bike courier, so he's working. But I think like on whatever break he can get while he's working, he is trying to like replicate the sound and then the timbre and the rhythm of the voice he heard when he shot his mind through that portal the previous night. Because that's the only, in his head, that's the only clue they have as to this new supervillain on the block.
One of the packages he has to deliver, he has to pick up from the Lower Park Development Agency, which is a building. It's on Park Street, a block or two up from the school, and it's the job is to take it from there to the Lower Park Community Association, which is located. Let's put it on. Just opposite Yancey Street. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the development agency is the base of apparently a consortium of businesses interested in gentrifying, of improving, inverted commas, Lower Park. It's an old. I think it might be what was a bank. So it's on a corner plot, just here, and it's. There's clearly it's been tarted up. The woodwork has been painted recently. There's been a bit of sandblasting to get the grime and graffiti of a decade or more off the sides of it. And inside, it has the appearance of a smooth piece of, almost like an outgrowth of corporate Gauntlet City in the boondocks. What do you do?
I guess I walk in to pick up a package. Maybe I look a little bit not quite starry-eyed, but like this is not my usual protocol. But up to the front desk and announce myself as picking up a package, and it's just business as usual.
Where a very kind of corporately dressed and presented young man says, "Oh yeah, I just need to call upstairs to get it," and he calls and he says, "Yes, no, I've got the couriers here. Okay, I'll come and get it." And he disappears behind the desk into what would have been, I guess, the manager's office, because rather like a bank, this is a large atrium with the sides of which appear to be now have been utilized for large posters and displays of, Lower Park on the rise. And disappears through this swing door at the back, only a matter of paces away. And in that moment between the door swinging one way and him going through, it's swinging back and then back and him coming out again. That voice you were trying to capture, you would swear you heard that voice. What it was saying, you don't know, but it was almost, she might even have been saying something like, "Yes, it went very well." and then he's out, and I think we probably have a little panel where he's holding the package out to you, and you're kind of just looking over his shoulder, kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So I think I'll give him my clipboard, and when he starts to write his name, I say, no, it has to be the name of whoever is sending it. It can't be you. I'm lying, of course, but
of course you are. Let's see how convinced he is by your lie. So that is, I think, being normal and using your jaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because this is, he's done this before. He's not some kid. He does what he does. So I think that the threshold of success here is 3 successes.
Okay. So jaw plus normal is 5 for me. Do I spend some spark? I don't know. This doesn't really seem like something is at risk here.
Oh, no. There's no tension at work here.
Okay.
So spark is not at risk unless you choose to spend it.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I'm going to spend 2. I am really interested in finding a name on this one. So let me assemble my dice.
Which color are you using?
I'm blue.
Okay.
Okay, that's 5 successes.
Wow. So that is, and he kind of looks at you askance, and he says, "That's okay." And he goes back behind, and he comes back with a signature of Maria Rodriguez. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we see you.
And it's like, what can I say? New security policy, like I'm complaining about the boss, right?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Have a good day now.
So thank him. Have a good day. Looking at the signature as I climb back onto the bike,
And set off to the Lower Park Residents Association on the other side of Park Street. Okay. Let's come back round. Shadeux, do you want to have another scene, or do you want to cut to talking to somebody particular? What would Shadeux like to be seen doing next?
I think on whatever. I've got gadgetry, so we have equivalent of the bat phone. Definitely. I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop Void a line, because we've got the iPod with the music on, and they might know who arranged that and who those shadowy folks were. So I'm going to send young Void an emoji of the bat signal and say, we need to meet. I've got the iPod. Between the two of us, we can figure it out. I don't think Blink or Hotwire will be cool enough to do this. What do they know about young people music?
Right.
I just do need to tell you, Robert, that that you're a freelance graphic designer.
Yeah.
You are currently, you have a job with a quite sharp deadline.
Ooh. What kind of company I'm working for right now? Is it something that I'm willing to give just the real basic standard kind of thing, or is it something I'm going to be?
This is work that you've been angling for a couple of months, and you finally got them to agree to give you a piece of work.
Okay.
It's the Lower Park Development Authority.
Oh. Well, there goes my lunch break, I guess. But I'm going to see Shadeux, because well, it's kind of important. I figured out that that guy is not a no-name DJ. They just picked up in the neighborhood, and that there is maybe some major investigation going on, and we don't know if we have left traces behind there.
Would Shadeux know that you've got this gig, or do you keep your work life separate and private?
I wouldn't be especially private about it, but I would act like it's not really much to do, and I'm well, it's super easy for me anyway. I can do it with no time.
So it's like, I can help if you want. You know, my art skills elite. No, at least as good as yours. Winky face emoji.
So yeah, no worries. I just make sure I have another 3 or 4 hours today, and I'm good with it. So we're gonna meet up. I've got some quite interesting news.
Just so I can make sure you understand the stakes here. I will now increase the difficulty on making that deadline.
Yeah, but it's about music, you know. That's more important after all.
Where do you agree to meet? Is this during the school lunch hour as well, Shadeux? And are you going to turn up as Shadeux or Veronica?
Oh, well, secret identity. So it's always Shadeux who turns up with the team, right? You know, if I've got the iPod, to be honest with you, sorry?
Shadeux, where do you change? You know, I
in
mean,
the
phone box out decades ago.
In the church belfry, which is one of our bases of operation, as we established last time. So, I mean, we don't necessarily have to meet face to face, but we can sort of upload it onto the internet and use social throughout the day to play through the playlist and deal with it. But I think, yeah, meeting probably is, yeah. I think it will be. I think it will be lunchtime, and I've got a free period straight afterwards, so it will be tight. But I'm going to get out there. We're going to get through this playlist and hack it.
Okay. Again, I may want to test how late you are for class.
Getting across town as a parkour superstar that Shadeux is, no problem.
So yeah, do we actually see her in the daylight? You know, stepping out of the belfry, the clock tower, and you know, roof to roof.
Oh yeah, it doesn't hit the ground. It is out of the. She's sort of standing there on top of the clock tower. There's a grappling hook that is, or she leaps across probably onto like a telegraph line, and you see her foot stepping across and leaping roof to roof across the city, taking the time not to be seen.
Well then, I think that is being super, isn't it?
Sure.
Feet.
It would something make sense to me, so that would be 5 dice. I suppose the challenge is if I get it wrong.
And I think that you have. Were you spotted, or were things to go badly wrong here? This could cause you some trouble. So I think you are behaving as the wild one of the group, so you get your roll dice as well. It's broad daylight. Difficulty is 3.
Okay, so I'm using my super, which is 3, my feet, which is 2, and I'm taking my roll dice, which is 6 in total. Then. I got 6 and a 5, 2 2s and 2 1s.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm not. I shouldn't be anyway.
No, Alan.
No, I am. So that is sorry. I have 6 or 4, 2 2s and a
6 or 5, 2 2, 1.
So that is 3 successes, which is what I set you. So we see, give me a little bit of flavor here. Is there a bit of riding on top of a delivery truck? What's
Oh yeah, Marty McFly bullshit being pulled here, right on the back of a bus as she sort of slams out a skateboard off her back, and then so is making her way across town. There's sort of like one of those sort of ladders that come down on the fire escape towards building, which she hooks with a sort of a rope and a hook, and then is sort of leaping step by step up the side of the building and appears head upside down, waving at the window with a cup of coffee.
2 cups of coffee?
Just no, it's a gift for Void.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, Void, what's the nature of the conversation then? What do we see?
Well, Void is still super hyped about the DJ performance, so he's gonna show 1 or 2 videos shot during the performance last night, and then he's coming up with news report and with the DJ's name. So I'm saying, well, see, there's this guy and he has like a record deal, and his name is apparently Mike DeBon, and he looks quite artsy. So I don't know if he's from around here. I don't think I've seen him. So whoever hired him might have had some money spent on it. So if we ask him and get the name, it's an easy job from there on, right?
Shadeux, I will tell you now that you recognize this DJ. Now, because, in the shadow and the flashing lights of the club, nobody really paid him much specific attention. But when you find out it's Mike Dubon, he did a concert, or he emceed a concert in the park last summer. Every summer, the Residents Association puts on activities for young people, and this was one of them.
There's a moment in where Shadeux is sort of distracted, and her mind goes to, he's so talented and cute. And I go, wow, how did they get him for a party like that? Someone must have paid him money. He doesn't play for free.
Yeah, that was my bad.
And I think at that point, we'll cut to Theo arriving at the Lower Park Residents Association with this package. Who's the administrator? Because it's all volunteers to a large extent, but there'll be an administrator who's paid a pittance to kind of run the office. Do we know who she or he is?
I think there is an older woman called Marjorie who, is probably, I don't know, like a pillar of the community in terms of has been to everyone's baptism or marriage or whatever, is known by everyone. And it's kind of if Hotwire is the glue of the team, she's the glue of the community center, right?
She didn't go to school with Benny, did she? Oh, well, we'll explore that one. Okay. So,
I think maybe I suspect she's another 20 years older than Benny. So Benny might have had her maybe. So this is a volunteer thing. Can we say she was a former school teacher, and now that she's not teaching school anymore, she does this? So yeah, absolutely. Benny had her as a school teacher, I think.
Retired primary school teacher.
Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons she's so beloved is she was everybody's favorite 5th grade teacher, right? Something like that.
Fine. So is she Miss or Mrs.?
Oh, it's Ms.
Ms. Okay.
Yeah.
So Marjorie is Ms. what? Benny? How do you remember her? Ms. I suppose actually Theo might have been taught by her as well. He's been here forever as well.
You're muted, Jim.
Oh, you are muted, Jim.
I think all of us knew her as Ms. whatever the first letter of her last name was. Like Ms. W, like that.
Ms. W. Ms. W. Okay. So Ms. W is in the office, and unlike the development authority, which is very kind of corporate, we see her at a desk that somebody donated. Piles of paper, a phone that looks like it's seen better days. Everything in this room has been donated by one of the volunteers or through one of the charity drives that take place around the place. And she's busy on a manual typewriter. When you come in, Theo, what do we see happen?
So I think he just leans on the desk and slaps the package down on top of it and says, "Hey, Ms. W, how are things?"
Oh, Theo, it's lovely to see you. How have you been? How's your mom?
She's doing okay. Still trying to call that local councillor about those troublemakers out the alley, but some things never change, right?
Oh, but they are changing. They are. Things are going to get better. The community is pulling together more and more. So what brings you here?
Oh, the high flyers have a package for you. I don't know what it means for the community anyway.
Oh, I see. Oh, and she'll take it and look at it and think, okay, I'll make sure that the board gets that. Do you need me to sign something?
You probably should. So slips the clipboard across. And have you met any of them over there?
Oh no, I'm just the help around here.
I guess I'm just wondering what kind of people come in here and try to
Well,
redevelop
they've been
it.
very generous, They've made significant contributions. This typewriter, for instance, the old one was terrible. This one is smooth.
Well, I'm sure I could still type like you taught us, yeah. No backspace, no delete on those things. You made a mistake. You were stuck with it, huh?
Exactly. And I taught you, Theo, always be careful that way.
Cover my tracks, I guess, is the the way of it. Okay, well, if you need me to do a return trip, just call for me.
I will ask specifically for you, Theo.
Thanks, Ms. W.
I'm guessing that Theo gets his work through some kind of Uber type app, where somebody says package from A to B, and whoever's first to the click gets it. Is that how you envisage it?
Yeah, I don't know. Or is there a small office that does that has like 2 or 3 guys on the books, and they just do mostly local jobs, right?
I think that office is probably somebody's sitting room.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hotwire. This is just going nowhere. This is just this is going to take you all day and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice some trucks, because you're on the junction of Park Street and Park Lane, Jurassic Park Lane.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And some trucks come in along Park Lane, turn onto Park Street, And from where you are on the fire escape on the side of the building, you'll see them turn onto High Street, where, you know, above the brownstones, you can see the Park department store. Just saying.
Oh, and like I sigh and I like look at my work and I flip up the visor and I look back at that and I like say, oh damn it, and I like set the visor down and put the torch to the side and down the stairs I grab my jacket as I get down there, pull it on over the coveralls that I've got on, and I'm gonna go see what's going on over there.
And I think as you come around the corner, you can see that they're unloading, you know, those kind of panels that you now see around building sites where they just want to seal off the work area.
Sure. Yep. Yeah.
And I think you'll see one's already up and another one's coming out, and they're labeled Lower Park Development Agency. Lower Park is on the rise.
All right.
And I think we'll cut there. And I'm going to suggest we have a break until 1/4 the hour. Does that seem reasonable?
Sounds great.
Okay. I'll see you at 1/4. We'll see where we go from there. So what I'm thinking is that when Jim joins us, we might have you back together, unless you're very keen to do something specific. And then we'll have Jim. I was just saying that what I'm thinking is that the next significant scene might have you back together, just sharing what you've discovered.
Sure.
And as part of that, we'd have a flashback to Robert and Shadeux, and whatever they've done around the DJ across the lunch break. Is that, unless somebody's got something very specific they want to do? Okay, so let's cut to again, all of you in the clock tower, because that seems to be mission central, where Shadeux and Robert are laying out what they've discovered. So what do we see in that flashback that shows you working some stuff out? Shadeux, do you want to start us off?
I'll try that again. Unmute. Can you phrase that question again? Sorry, what did you answer there, Alan?
So the flashback is to you and Robert in his apartment with his coffee. And I just want to sketch out what exactly you've tried to find out across the lunch break about Mike Dubon, the DJ, or, related.
Oh, we've skimped. We've looked at the players because he ran off and it was left unlocked. We've gone through his recent Apple Pay receipts to see and find out whom paid him for this DJ gig.
I think that other smartphones are available, but I think that at the risk of being sued by the Apple company, we will have to assume that the security on the phone requires cracking. But I'm sure that's the kind of gadget that Shadeux might have.
Yeah, I now regret saying it was an Apple phone rather than a Google phone, because we all know those are a weak source compared to an Apple phone. Yeah, I've got gadgetry, so I think we hook it into something which she has cobbled together in the school lab. So when she gets back to school in the afternoon, we see like the phone is hooked into one of the USB sockets in the computer lab, and she's hacking.
Okay, and Robert, what's your contribution to finding out something about Mr. Dubon?
Well, I'm sure Robert has got some sort of beamer where he projects sort of a mind map kind of thing with all the important nodes, and he clearly draws a lot of red lines. So it basically looks like a modern pin and how you call it, like a thin thread.
Yeah,
like they do in this
corkboard with yeah.
Just slightly more modern, in a modern fashion. Yeah.
A virtual corkboard.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I think, what question are you wanting to ask Shadeux? What are you hoping to find out? Give me some frame of reference.
Who paid our DJ to Mike Dubon? Who paid Mike Dubon to play that gig?
Okay, so let's as you say, this is an Apple phone, so the difficulty is 3. So you will need 3 successes, and I think, what is this? You are using your gadgetry power, so you are being super. Mm-hmm. Being super with your gadget, and I think you are using tools. Are you? Does that seem?
Let's have a look. Yeah, tools. I would like to say that I'm doing this as a wild one because I am hacking it during our comp sci class at school.
So everyone else is busy, programming their Raspberry, while their Raspberry Pi, while you are, ripping the insides out of an Apple phone. Okay.
Just so I've got something plugged into it, and I'm going through its trying to effectively hack through its fingerprint lock.
So yeah, I think that this is being super with tools and using your gadgetry power.
So that's 7 dice. I'm good at this.
That is, bear with me a moment. I think an action with a power adds 2d6. I forgot that last week, and I meant to remind you this week. If you engage with either power, you get an extra 2d6.
Okay, so let me go through that again. I'm being super, which is 3. I'm using tools, which is 6. I'm being the wild one, which is 7, and then I'm adding 2 for the power, so that's 9.
That is 9 dice. What could possibly go wrong?
I haven't rolled this many dice since I was a Champions player, man. Because this is a lot of d6.
I am going to say that there is tension at work here because you're having to do this without your com-sci teacher noticing.
Right, that's 9. I think I was trying to clear my dice, and I think I've cleared the room. Sorry, folks.
You should probably be clearing and re-rolling every time anyways, just because of some of the issues
just like,
your party can have.
That's 1 6 3 5 1 4 2 3s, a 2 and a 1. So I think that's 5 successes. You're muted, Alan.
The 1 is an oof, so that will cost you a spark. I think probably we see your balding middle-aged com-sci teacher, just looking curiously at you and just increasing the chance of a cover being blown. But otherwise, yeah, you succeed. And there is.
Can I just ask you a clarification? Just before we describe it, is anytime I roll a 1, should I be taking a spark off? Then is that
only if tension is in play?
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Now tension will always be in play, pretty much when you use a power.
Cool.
I
rolled. Sorry, Jim.
It's also important to note that however much spark you lose maxes out at the difficulty of whatever you're attempting to do. So if you roll 5 1s, but it's difficulty 2, you still only lose 2 spark.
Thank you.
Thanks. I rolled 2 1s in my roll earlier on, I remember. So I'm going to take my spark down to reflect that.
Okay. And what you discover is that he is being paid a small but not insignificant retainer by the Lower Park Residents Association for being available for gigs that they organize. Okay.
Cool.
Go on.
No. With that many successes, have I got their bank account details and like that, or I just know the payer?
You need multiple 6s for things to be really, really, really good. So cool. I think
I rolled 1 6. That's fine. Thank you for clarification. Got you.
Okay. Robert, this is probably a split panel, so we see all of that going on one side of the page with Shadeux, and on the other side, with that kind of lightning bolt boundary between you, we see Robert and his pinboard, his digital pinboard. What are you trying to work out, Robert?
Well, this looks like it might take us a while to get all things sorted out, and we can be sure we have the major big guy behind all of this. So I'm just trying to be organized and keep track of things because I'm a freelance artist. I know that you can be messy with your flat and everything, but your files on your computer need to be properly sorted, and you just need to keep track of things. And I'm still at a computer.
And I think that we see you working away at the computer. We see the projection on the wall, and you're kind of moving stuff and just fine tuning, getting the font right, so it all looks just great. And over your shoulder in the corner, we see the graphic tablet where you should be working. Would you roll, please, to see whether you make that deadline. I think the difficulty, given what you've just told me, I think the difficulty could well be 4, because you've become a little bit kind of obsessive about, So you're looking for 4 successes. I think you are being normal.
Yeah, 3.
And I think you are using your head.
Yep. So that is 6 dice already. I'm gonna add. I'm gonna use 2 spark to add 2 more.
Okay.
Dice to it.
So you're rolling with 8 dice and looking for 4 successes. That's easy.
Should work. Oh no, this looks horrible. That's only 1 success.
Say it again.
That's only 1 5, and the rest.
We see, it begins to get dark outside, and there's that kind of, the clock has moved from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and at 5:30 we see you look at the, and there's kind of, oh no, you missed the deadline. We'll worry how that plays out later. And so that's what we've seen, and now you're back together. Blink, you usually take the lead at these team meetings. What do we see?
Yeah, I think Blink is not. He's not reaching for the collection plate with the new clues for them. He's just going to jump into.
I don't know if it's just me, Donna, but your video is freezing. Yeah, I'm seeing nods. Can you hear us? Oh, now your audio's gone, I think. You're muted, Jim.
He's definitely locked up for me.
As Blink stares out the window and thinks about what you should do, Hotwire, you're the glue to this team, this disparate team. What suggestion are you putting on the table?
I mean, so it doesn't feel like a coincidence to me that whatever they were doing. So like I've seen this before. That party wasn't a party. It was some kind of experiment. They were doing something. They were trying something out or testing something out. And whenever someone in a suit says, that went better than I expected, that means it's worse for everyone else. And the fact that they're starting to board that place up now, whatever it was they wanted to try and find out, they figured it out. And I don't know, it just feels like bad news to me.
Any views?
So do not like that, but I agree.
It's obviously like in the music, right? Did we find something in the playlist?
It was, it was a good playlist. The guy has got talent. It must be said you didn't kind of do anything else with the playlist. Theo, just to fill Blink in, Hotwire is suggesting that there was some kind of experiment running at that party, and now they're boarding it up. All seems a bit, suspicious.
Sorry, can anyone hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are back in sound and vision.
Sorry, StreamYard seems to be hitting on me today.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, I just caught the tail end of that.
Okay, Hotwire, spin it again.
Yeah. So I've seen that before, and the way they were talking, that was some kind of experiment. They were testing something on those kids. And I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was like a marketing slogan or something, or something in the music. I mean, Bobby seems to think it's something in the music, but I don't know. But like that, whenever someone in a suit like that says that went better than I expected, that probably means the rest of us are in trouble. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Okay. I mean, I've got an ID on that woman I heard through the portal.
Well, do you think that's some sort of messed up drug like the zombie drug they try to sell on the market in Florida? The newspapers.
Okay, I think we may be jumping the gun a little on zombie drugs. Where did you get that zombie drug?
It's been all over the news. That guy that tried to bite off that other guy's arm and shit.
Bobby, this is why I don't read the internet, Bobby.
I mean, any headline that starts with Florida man, I just ignore what comes after it.
Zombie drug.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it is.
I saw it on Facebook. That there needs to be something to it.
My hunch is that they are here to make money, and so it's probably not a zombie drug. Just saying, but I don't know. But it's something. And whatever that woo-woo was with the portal.
Not standard corporate high spending.
That's
super.
Yeah.
Maybe it's voodoo, and they create voodoo zombies and not drug zombies.
Bobby.
We need to.
You saw that movie? That was amazing. Like Zombieland and stuff. I really like that.
So here's my two-fold plan. One, we should get into that building and figure out what the files are saying. Second, we should get hold of Mike DeBon. He lives. He's the most famous person in this district. We've got to be able to catch up with him and find out what he knows. I'm down for finding the superstar DJ.
Look at you, girl. Now you're the smart one.
I mean, how is he going to address the autograph you ask him for?
I wasn't going to ask for an autograph. I was going to offer to tag his new artwork and album, something for the community. So just like, don't put labels on me. And
well, presumably that's tomorrow, not tonight. Shadeux. Or are you thinking of?
Shadeux is not a detailed, concrete plan sort of person. Shadeux is gonna try and pull this off, one of these things off tonight, with the support of the team or on their own. Justice doesn't wait for homework to be done.
Blink. How does this? Oh, poor old.
Really, just did.
Yeah, that was awesome how you said blink and then and that was how it happened. Yeah.
So Shadeux's put the cards on the table. Hotwire, what do you make of that?
Can we figure out a way to do this without breaking and entering?
Well,
Sorry,
we
folks,
could do some surveillance kind of stuff, right? Oh, sorry.
We need to get a look at, is this, so I'm just going to say timeout for a second. Do we need to get a look, this is me asking as a player, we need to get a look at someone's computer? Is that what's going on? Or?
I think I want Shadow's sort of plan is to interrogate or ask questions of Mike DeBorn. And her other plan was to break into that office or get into the office and find out what's happening there, because there's bound to be some sneaky evidence there. Gotta be. That's the way it works.
Oh, of the planning committee you're talking about. Okay. Like we're not breaking into anywhere.
Well, only the bad guy's office.
No, because it doesn't matter whether they're good guys, bad guys, or indifferent guys. We can't break in. Now, if we can convince them to let us in, that's a whole different thing, right? You know, we maybe don't tell the whole truth about why we're there, or, you know, we can, but I'm not going to be responsible for you going to jail. And since you've told us that you plan to do that, you've implicated all of us in that.
Hey, Hotwire, things get solved if you get involved.
Yes, which is why you got to use. So use this, I say, and I just kind of give a gentle tap in the middle of her forehead. Use this for something other than a place to put a hat.
Okay, cool down. I think we all just agreed that from now on, Shadeux is the smart one, and honestly, I think that's not really a bad plan. We could break in there. Well, what's one broken window compared to a whole bunch whole broken
break a window? You think I'm an amateur?
Who needs to break anything to enter this location?
Okay. Say there's a miracle happening at some point.
I just want to call it time. Can we have a little bit of mute discipline? Because I'm just getting too much. People are talking across other people. So let's use the mute button with care, colleagues, please. Sorry, Blink, what are you going to say?
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I don't need to break anything to go anywhere. So in terms of breaking and entering, I will just bypass the breaking and go straight to the entering.
See? No breaking in, just going in. All good. But thanks for caring. I appreciate it.
What's your alternative suggestion, Hotwire? What can we do to unmask this villainy in our community?
I mean, I think the easiest thing to do is for one of us to go get a job. Go there. If that's a construction site, they're going to need people working there before they know who we are.
I mean, if someone were to get a job in their office, the old First National Bank down at the corner there, really swish place. Robert, I think,
Yeah.
You scrub up well, right? You scrub up well. That's all I'll say. You can walk like a corporate when you want to.
Yeah, Bobby, you have an actual resume.
Yo, young boy, weren't you working for them anyway on that gig? Did you get the piece of work in on time?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I sort of botched the job, so I could use the extra money. It's not that I'm really short on. I saved some, but yeah, well, fucking construction site working. Hate it. Well, you willing to lend me one or two of those spray cans so that there's some sort of fun and hip hop element kind of thing involved?
So I'm inclined to cut at this point to the following day, or are we? I'm still not entirely clear whether Blink and Shadeux are determined to break in somewhere, or
Determined.
sorry, in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to confront Mike de Bon, no matter what Hotwire says.
So what happens as Shadeux seeks to leave and says, okay, you know, I'm out of here? Does she just go?
I think she'll wait till we're close to the split up, and she'll grab Blink and say, a lead's a lead, and I'm not waiting for anything. You coming with me?
Blink, you in or out?
Yeah, what Hotwire doesn't know won't hurt them. No, Mr. Blink. Donna, are you still with us? I think Donna's
Donna, you're looking lost. Has the audio gone?
Joe, I pointed at the screen and I kick him out. It's your powers, man. This is.
I'm going to assume that Shadeux goes off. We'll find out in a moment whether Blink follows her. Hotwire, what about you and Robert? Or do we cut to the following day for you and some job?
I think I'm gonna take Bobby aside, and and like I know you're busy, and I know that this is a big ask, but our business is really hurting, and we need to figure out some way to get up new customers. And I was just hoping you could just throw together a flyer for us, something like that. Just a little bit of artwork, or I don't know, something we can just slap on telephone poles and put in the window of the bodega.
Okay, now I get it. I just missed that you called Robert Bobby, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. I missed that before.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sure thing. Well, so what kind of customers you want to attract? So just the neighborhood or beyond?
I mean, the neighborhood. I mean, you know what we do? We make roll gates. We make bars and stuff. We have some of those, what do you call it? Eric knows more about this stuff than I do. Like, he's got ads on the Google, but I don't, like, we need, I don't know. We just need something just to get our name out there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it can put up something real quick and real neat. Yeah, that's no problem. Maybe a little night shift or something, and you're good to go. You got a printer yourself, right? I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff.
No. Yeah, no, like just the design and just make something that'll look cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't. Neither of us, we didn't take any art classes or anything. So, Bobby, you're a lifesaver. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I can help members of the community.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything you need from us? You want some new bars on your apartment or what?
No, that just looks pretentious. I'm good with what I have. I don't want to look like any of those kind of upper class people, well, middle class, I guess, around here, but still, I have nothing to hide besides the porn on my computer. So,
Bobby, I got to tell you, it's not yuppies that are buying these things from us. It's people that have to worry about getting busted into.
Yeah, sure. Ground floor people. I live on the third floor, so that's yeah. But thanks. I appreciate your concern. and I'll make sure you have. Well, I drop off the flyer tomorrow morning before I try to get the job at the construction site. If that's okay for you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. And if you need, I don't know, if you need like some coveralls or something like that, I can loan you some.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Don't want to show up in my clothes. They sure won't take me then. So yeah, that's a cool thing. So see you tomorrow then.
And I nod and I look grateful. Alan, could we bin that as a bonding scene?
We could. You read my mind. Yeah, I think that's certainly a scene where you have pulled together. And I'm just looking for where it is.
It's on the right hand side of our little cheat sheet.
Yeah, so it is.
Refresh scenes there.
Yeah,
I think you award us 2 to 5 depending on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give you 2 spark if you want it. For that
yeah,
one. And I thought you might like that one. So yeah, you can each have 2 spark for that. And for you two, I will cut to the following morning. But on the way back, Hotwire, are you in your Hotwire or your Benny look as you walk back to?
So like, I think the thing is that like my Hotwire outfit is something that I can wear like underneath, like a jacket and a, like so that I can like pull it off, pull the thing over. And like I said, I've got the like goggles that I wear, like the welding goggles. That's a thing that I can wear around like kind of under my jacket so that I can do like an alley quick change if I need to,
Okay. Is it me, or have all of the dice disappeared from the dice room? And was that deliberate?
I think I cleared him.
Yeah, clear.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. No, as long as what with Blink blinking and now the dice room blinking, I was beginning to think that the super gods were having some fun with us. So yeah,
because the dice put us at static, Alan. I think we're clearing it and re-rolling as we need to.
Okay. So Hotwire, will you just roll me 1d6?
Yeah, sure. I got a 1.
Okay. Now you live above the Keep Out Ironworks, don't you, on High Street? And so I guess from the clock tower, you'd go down the alley that connect between Park Lane and High Street. And then there's a little cut that gets into the back gate, and you go up the kind of fire escape to the apartment on the top of the room. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
There are a couple of youths, and they're on that staircase that goes up, the fire escape that goes up the back of the building to the room at the back of the top floor. And you would say that they were trying to lever the window. What do you do?
I come walking up, and I very casually and in a very friendly voice say, so is it like literally, is it actually like my apartment that they're doing that to? Okay. And like I just kind of like stop at the bottom of the stairs, don't actually get onto the stairs. And I say, if you forgot your keys, you're trying to get into the wrong place. Like very friendly.
And there's a kind of clank as the two turn round. And there's a kind of thanks, mister. We must have got in the wrong building. And they begin to make their way down the fire escape towards you.
Yeah, all right. And I'm just standing there, hands in my pockets.
and they kind of just go away past you.
Okay, so now as they're walking past,
Mhm.
like I'm gonna stand in front of them,
Okay.
and be like, "Oh, did they drop the tools up there? Or do they still have them?"
It looks like they one of them has a kind of a tote bag.
Yeah, got it. So like I'm like at the bottom of the stairs. So like as they come down to the bottom of it, they've got a and I say also in a very friendly voice, why don't you give me that bag so that if I ever need to get into my apartment, I can do it.
Well, and he kind of grabs the bag, and his friend kind of goes round, slightly drifts to one side, and he says, "It was an honest mistake, mister. We'll just go about our business."
For you to get off this fire escape, you got to hand me the bag.
Okay. And he swings it at you.
Yeah, sure it does. Okay. All right.
What do you do?
Like it's halfway through the swing, and like with a look of disappointment in my eyes, I, kind of do the thing where I like reach around behind my head with one hand and pull the mask down over as the other hand comes up, and just, a crackling nimbus of electricity comes around it. And like, ideally what I'm hoping for is that the bag is just going to like there's going to be like a big static discharge as it hits against my hand, and whatever, my force field protects me from getting hurt at all.
Fine. So this is being super.
Yep.
I think I'm going to give you. You could do this with heart if you wanted to, or you could do it with hands.
This is hands. Yeah. This is just like I said. This is just like boom, getting it up there, and bam, just stopping it before I get hit.
Okay, and you are engaging your defense power, so that gives you an extra 2d.
Yep. All right. Cool.
I don't think tension is a no. Let's stick with a rule of thumb that when you go super, tension applies. There might be
that's legit. This is like they just escalated to violence. So that's tense as far as I'm concerned. So all right. So I got
8, but I think difficulty
for hands 2, 8. Difficulty 2. You said
difficulty is 2 because they're just kids.
Ha! That's awesome. 1 hit. I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 dice. I rolled 5 3s, 2 2s, and a single 4.
My goodness.
That's fantastic.
Me. So I think probably you will deflect the hit, but they will get away with the bag. And his friend is saying, "Shit, it's that guy."
Yeah.
And they're out the back gate and on their way. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, for what it's worth, I can't see any of those dice.
Oh, I cleared them as soon as after I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's got you home, but that will count as a patrolling the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, sure.
Which somewhere this will tell me.
I make a roll like it was
be super plus heart.
Yeah. Okay. So that'd be
success gains 1 point of spark.
Yeah. So in that case, this is 5. So I got a hit plus plus an extra. Sorry, it's whatever hits plus POWs get you extras.
Hits. So success gains 1 point.
Yep.
Extra POWs gain more spark.
Got it. Yeah. So I got 2 5s and a 6.
Okay. So that's
hit,
3.
Hit plus. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
No, I think it's 2.
2. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry. 3 hits, which gets me 2 spark. Yeah.
It does. Thank you. Okay. And Robert, we see you working away on this flyer and delivering it the following morning on your way to get some overalls to go to the building site. But before we get there, Blink and Shadeux, you're at Mike Donner's building. He has the top floor apartment in one of the renovated brownstones, where shall we put it? I think it's probably, it's north of where the Development Authority building is, the old bank. So what do we see? What do you do?
So I think on the way over there, Blink is talking to Shadeux and wondering if she thinks turning up as, you know, or super solves is going to be better than just turning up as two punters.
Damn right it will be.
Why do you think that?
This is who we are. We protect this neighborhood. We're known here, right? If he's going to come into our neighborhood and start pulling shit that's going to get it turned into some goddamn Disneyland, then he's got to remember his roots, and we're here to remind him.
Is this because if you just don't want to reveal your true identity, that's okay by me. I just want to know that that's the reason.
Giving you my reason, Blink. This is who I am, and this is what I stand for. I stand for this community. I thought we all did.
Yeah, we do, but we are also people who live here, and that is how I think the best way to connect to Mike is.
Shrug shoulder going like, you know, maybe I'm hanging out with the wrong crew, and that might be a time to sort of
Well, Shadeux, all I'm saying is we have different tools in our toolbox. You know, we just don't have 5 different types of hammer.
There's more than one
discussion I'm having a discussion with you, Shadeux. I'm not telling you that this is the way we're going to do it. I'm trying to find out why you think the super is going to be the winning approach. If you say this is how we connect with them, this is what we're known for, then I'm okay with that.
It's what I stand for in this town, and this is what Shadeux stands for. So I'm going in there. I'm going to talk to them.
And I think Blink, you know, takes out his mask and puts it on.
So what's the approach, Blink? And then Shadeux can do something else.
At his front door.
It's because it's been done up. The street door has got a number of, you know, apartment bells and a little camera and a kind of grill to speak through. So you know, Mike Dubon is in the top floor one. Oh, poor old Donna. Do we want to try an alternative StreamYard? We could take a break, and I'll go Hangouts and set up OBS to stream with that. What do you think?
We can do that, or I can just create a Zoom room for us. That's the other thing we can do.
If you could,
I've got a paid Zoom account. Be happy to, yeah.
That would be really kind of you. So let me just tell Donna. Oh, there he is.
And I'll drop it into our Hangouts chat.
Donna, we're just because clearly StreamYard is causing, or something's causing you some trouble. So we're going to try Zoom instead. Jim's got a Zoom account, so he'll set up a room for us, and we'll come back to that one. Is that okay? And then we're about to take a break anyway. But let's see if we can get Zoom up and going. So we best all leave, haven't we? Let me stop the recording.